Some comic book characters are indestructible, taking whatever is thrown at them. But Rusty Haight sounds like he could be a real-life superhero. I'm on my way to Las Vegas to meet him. Rusty holds a world record for being in more than 900 car crashes without any major injury. But he's not like any stunt driver because he doesn't have roll cages or wear a helmet. His only protection are the standard safety belts that come with the car. I want to measure the life-threatening forces his body goes through and find out how he's still walking. Is Rusty Haight invincible? Since the car was invented, over 20 million people have been killed in crashes. By the 1930s, car makers wanted a better understanding of what happened to people during a car wreck. The first test subjects were human corpses, strapped into cars and crashed. As the science of crash testing became more advanced, corpses became scarce. Crash test dummies were invented by the early 1950s. But these dummies don't always give a complete picture of what happens to a person in a crash. The best method is to have a live human in the car. That's why Rusty Haight willingly puts himself in harm's way in the name of science. You must be Rusty.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? I'm Daniel.
Good. Hey, Daniel. How you doing?
Rusty teaches people how to investigate car crashes. And he decided the best way to learn about these accidents was to actually have somebody in them. So 15 years ago, he started to deliberately crash cars.
I'll get in the car and I'll drive in a crash because I'm a believer in the idea that if I'm going to be teaching someone how to investigate how those two people got hurt in that wreck, I should be able to reconstruct that crash. And do it right. Now, the flip side of that is I should be able to then construct a crash, plan a crash that I can be in where I won't get hurt. And 930 odd times out of 930 odd times, I've done it successfully.
Today, Rusty's gonna reach a total of 938 crashes at an accident investigation conference. Attending are scientists and engineers who will be analyzing the impacts.
Just like any other kind of science, we want to have a lab, and a crash is the ultimate lab for crash training. The normal parts of a crash are human, vehicle, environment. We're going to have them all right here.
Every time Rusty's in a crash test, there's potential for serious harm.
So, I mean, is Rusty at any risk here?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. So, I mean, you can see Rusty's the only one getting in these cars. No one else is getting in them.
Rusty's in position right now. He's about to drive a car into two parked cars at 40 miles an hour.
Rusty is putting himself in real danger. Studies have shown that in crashes at this speed, around 1 in 3 result in serious injury, like a broken arm or leg. Statistically, he should have hundreds of broken bones.
Rusty, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, that was intense.
Incredibly, once again, this human crash test dummy has escaped unharmed. I now want to measure the extreme forces his body's being put through in these crashes and find out if Rusty is a real-life superhero. I'm Daniel Browning Smith. I'm in Las Vegas to find out if Rusty Haight has a superhuman ability to withstand car crashes. He's been in more wrecks than anyone on the planet, and now he's preparing for his 938th. I want to see the forces his body is enduring. Helping me to get this information will be Judd, a biomechanic. He's going to be placing accelerometers all over Rusty's body to measure the forces during the crash.
You got a brake pedal load cell on there?
The data collected from these accelerometers will tell me the exact forces Rusty's body is being put through millisecond by millisecond. In a car crash, there are three major phases of impact. The first is one car hitting another. The second phase is the people inside the car hitting a seatbelt, steering wheel, or windshield. And the third phase is the internal organs like your brain or heart moving inside your body, slamming into your rib cage or skull. After the crash, there can be a fourth phase that sneaks up on you days afterwards: whiplash. It's caused by neck trauma, and every year affects over 120,000 Americans. Yet, in over 900 crashes, Rusty hasn't suffered from this once. Rusty is now ready, and the car is pushed into position. For this crash, he's going to go faster than 40 miles per hour, which increases his risk of serious injury.
Yeah, I'm trying to line up on the line there.
The crash looked more severe than the last one, but once again, Rusty is unscathed.
How you feel, man?
The results from the sensors on his body are analyzed immediately. What I really want to know is how many times the force of gravity, or G's, Rusty was under during the crash.
I think the peak G's were very close to 12.
Whoa, so 12 G's. How much do you weigh?
About 215.
So you weighed more than 2,500 pounds.
Briefly.
For just an instant.
That's the interesting part about looking at the data. When you think about, for maybe a thousandth or 2,000ths of a second, I'm weighing in 2,000 pounds. Well, that's where the potential for injury is. When you think about the ascending aorta and body parts inside of your ribs, like your heart, your lungs, all of a sudden weighing 20 times or 10 times more than they normally weigh. That's where you get the potential for injuries.
Damaging these internal organs could be fatal. So how does he emerge unscathed time after time? Perhaps Rusty has now become so used to crashing, his body has developed a sixth sense, enabling him to anticipate the collision and protect himself on an instinctive level. But does this make him superhuman? One thing's for sure, he's been able to withstand over 900 crashes with no major injuries, which no one else has done before. And through this ability, he's been able to advance the science of car crashes and helped to save lives.
I am genuinely amazed at the extremes that Rusty Haight goes to, putting his life on the line day in and day out just to help keep us safe. As our search continues, Daniel and I have found evidence of even more people that show signs of being superhuman. It goes to show they don't just exist in the pages of a comic book, but they're all around us. Who knows where we'll find our next one?